Phoenix, once buffed, became one of my favorite cosmic champions in MCoC. She has one of the most fun and interesting playstyles in the game for me, with the crazy power gains on the special 1, the special 2 giving you the crazy looking flame aura that just feels so good to use. A really interesting way to output damage by just being close to your opponents while they melt with incinerate damage. And if your phone allows it, you can see the beauty that is that flame aura, because yes, I have seen the pink squiggles flying around your phone that are supposed to represent the flame aura depending on what device you use. But luckily for me, mine works and it is beautiful. And she is just super, super cool. Again, one of my favorite cosmic champs. Not the most utility packs champion, but she has a lot of different immunities. She is arguably the best counter to Arnumzola, which is another very, very good thing to have in the tech class currently. And quite frankly, she's good for every single tech champ as long as they aren't immune to and or have ways to deal with incinerate. So like, don't use her for Penny, don't use her for Fantman, even though I've seen her actually take Fantman not terribly. And then you're going to have a really good time against like every single tech. She is going to have value that continues to rise as the tech class gets more champions. And who knows, maybe the Maker coming out next month is going to be a defender. We don't really know as of now, but we'll see. And anyway, let's just get into the actual rotations, where you can see this first one. I'm just doing a shorter fight rotation where I do 3 SP1s and then a special 2. We're going to get that Flame Aura active. I want to parry his specials to gain more Phoenix Force charges. And while we're next to him, he's just going to be taking a bunch of instant incinerates and melting right before our eyes. And that is the short fight Phoenix rotation. And from here, I'm going to move on to the longer fight Phoenix rotation. I don't know what the hell I was trying to say there. But the longer fight rotation is really, really crazy, because we're just going to get some of the most nutty power gains ever. We're going to drop a special 1 into a special 2, into a special 2, all back to back. And it's going to be really cool. So to start ramping to that, though, we need to go ahead and drop 2 SP1s and then an SP2. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us 3 special echo, which is exactly what we want. Because then when we drop the special 1 after our aura expires, you're going to be getting 3 power gains that are going to give us 375% of a bar of power over the course of those power gains, allowing us to basically, as long as we had enough power left over, spam back-to-back special 2s. And it's going to be quite the sight to see. But first, we have to actually get there. We do have to do the 2 SP1s into a special 2 first, which is exactly what is happening now. An important thing to note when playing Phoenix is that you absolutely never want to go to a special 3 unless you for some reason want her immortality passive, because that's going to reset all of your Furies and special echoes, which is a design choice because the power of the Phoenix is so immense and you do not want to power gain it to oblivion. And if you didn't reset everything with a special 3, it'd be so OP with the amount of power gains you have anyway. So at this point, we have our 9 auras active, now down to 7, but we had 9 when it started. And we are just doing a bunch of incinerate damage to Star-Lord. I'm going to try to parry his specials if I can to gain extra Phoenix Force charges, and he is just melting. This Star-Lord's health pool is 3.4 million, so we're going to see exactly how fast she goes through that health pool when the fight ends. It's going to be pretty fast. And yeah, we have our 30 Phoenix Force charges, which is the max we can have. So we're placing 30 incinerates per aura duration, meaning we're placing about almost 270 over the course of the aura's lifespan after the special. And then we can just go right back to it by doing a special 1 into a back-to-back special 2, except I didn't have enough power when I dropped that special 1, so I kind of messed up there, but it's fine. It's going to be enough to close this fight out, which is all that matters anyway for the sake of this clip. And yeah, so 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%, 1%, Star-Lord goes down, and then you can see that we did the fight in 2.5 minutes, which is actually pretty good. So Now we're going to do a couple fights in the old, new war map, however you want to look at it. Currently we have the old map back, but this is the new map that is now old. Anyway, we're going to be fighting Node 10. And on Node 10, it has Hazard Shift, Shock, and Incinerate. And on this node, the goal to gain your Vigor charges is to trigger one of those Incinerates or Shocks on you that you're either immune to or resistant to. And Phoenix is immune to Incinerate always, and with the Odin pre-fights, we're going to be shock resistant, so we're going to be taking full advantage of this node, and it's going to be pretty great. So, I don't quite remember what rotation I do for this one. In hindsight, if it's not the 9 aura rotation, that's what I would be using. This is also before she was Saga, so she is doing half the damage of when she was Saga, which was about 3/4 of the season when she was Saga. But here, I drop a special 1 into his block, which is fine. So it looks like I kind of messed up the rotation a little bit. Or am I actually... Yeah, no, I'm doing the short fight rotation, which is, again, not what I would be doing in hindsight, but that's okay. So, anyway, he drops his special 2 there, and then I knock him down, and you can reduce auto block ability accuracy if your Phoenix is awakened. Mine isn't, and you would have to reduce it by a lot to actually shut down Arcade's auto blocks because he doubles his ability accuracy, but it is possible to actually turn it off, I believe. So anyway, he drops another special 2 there, and I get my Flame Aura back, and I go for heavy right there, and then he's going to drop a special 1, and yeah, he's melting. I don't really know what exactly I did there. I definitely messed up. I got some poisons on me, but it's okay. We are resistant to the shocks that he placed on us at least. And then I'm going to go for heavy here. His health bar is just melting before our eyes. And then I need to drop another special 1. And then, of course, we're going to go for the special 2. And, of course, I didn't line up the rotation right. This was in my very early stages of playing Phoenix, so not all of these rotations are executed correctly, as you can clearly see. However, I'm going to get them much better later in the video for sure. So, anyway, Arcade is almost dead here. I'm just going to bait out his special 2. Or am I just going to go for the kill? No, I'm going to bait out a special 2, which is probably the smarter thing to do anyway. So, he drops it. I'm going to heavy attack and then special 2 of my own. And then it's unblockable, so I can just run at him and drop it. And then he is going to die very shortly once I start ramping up these Phoenix charges. And then he goes down. And then we're going to go fight Arnumzola next on the same node. And this one's going to be much more fun, because Phoenix is basically designed to counter Zola. She basically does it perfectly because you have that charge heavy from the combo mechanic, so you can easily knock him down with your heavy attack. And you're also doing so many numbers in red, which Zola is not going to be able to reduce the damage of with this crazy armor rating and armor penetration. So, or crit penetration, I should say. And yeah, we're going to go for hopefully the correct rotation. I'll see which one I actually do. Again, still kind of early stages of me playing Phoenix, so I didn't master anything yet. But I go for the heavy there, and these ESP charges are just staying really, really low, which is awesome. And then here, I'm going to go for the special 1, 125% power gain buff, which is great. And then I'm going to go for a heavy attack real quick. Just knock him down. I don't need to charge the full duration because we're really only landing it to remove his ESP charges and not necessarily to stack incinerates because I don't need them at the moment. And yes, I am stacking up my 9 aura rotation, which is exactly what I'm supposed to do. So, he's dropping heavies there, which actually doesn't help us at all because Phoenix doesn't counter his heavy attack very well, but that's okay. So, gonna charge my heavy. Go ahead and cancel into the relic, which yeah, you can also do to extend the Phoenix Force charges for a little while. He drops a special 2, and then I'm going to go for a combo into a heavy, and then I'm going to bait his heavy, resist it somehow, luckily, from stand your ground, and then drop my special 2. And then those special echoes are paused, so I can get all the auras that I need to. There you go. You can see we have 9 of them. And then go ahead and remove his ESP charges in just a second. I want to ramp up some Phoenix Force charges as well, which we're going to get more of if I parry his non-contacts. I don't know how often I'm going to do that, but even 16 is still a lot. I could probably stay close to him during his special 2 and do more damage. I definitely should be doing that, but it's not a big deal. And then charge heavy, knock him down, remove the charges, and then we're going to go ahead and do that again. He throws a special 2 here. Or he throws a special 2 here. Or he throws a special 2 here, maybe? Does he throw it? Come on, bro. Do I just kill him? I might just kill... Yeah, I'm going to kill him from this next heavy. And then charge, he's dead. Just absolutely wiped out. So, that was also before the saga changed. And once the saga changed over, I didn't actually get to play Phoenix. I sent many Phoenixes over the course of the saga switch in that season, but I never got to use her myself, unfortunately. But that's fine. Now we're going to go fight this Yondu boss in the Crucible. This one's really fun. It has Rich Get Richer and Super Masochism. Super Masochism doesn't do anything because Phoenix's incinerates that she's placing are also a thing that she's immune to, so that doesn't really bother us. I'm going to go for a special 1 here and take advantage of Rich Get Richer, which always feels great. During Phoenix's Flame Aura, she's not going to be gaining combat power, but she is going to be gaining ability power, so we can actually still gain some power from the Rich Get Richer power gain while these auras are active, which is pretty cool. And then we're going to go ahead and be able to stack up even more aura once we actually get to that second power threshold. And yeah, that's exactly what I do. We're at 19 Phoenix Force charges, and he is melting very fast, especially when I have the Foresight Fury, even though it's not necessary, especially when we're increasing our attack a lot by our personal Furies anyway. And Yondu is just dead. Absolutely melted. And now we're going to go fight another Crucible boss. This one's going to be the Labyrinth Ultron. So this one has Transdescender, which is another one that is a power control node that Phoenix is going to take advantage of, because this one is going to power drain you, except she's immune to power drains, so it actually doesn't. We're also going to show off her armor breaks here, because the fact that Ultron is gaining armor ups more frequently, or at least he's supposed to, and Phoenix's heavy hits remove armors with armor breaks, so that's also pretty great. And just, we're getting a lot more power than normal from combat power due to Transdescender because of the fact that we are immune to power drain, so we can't actually lose any. And as you can see, we're gaining some combat power rate due to that increase as well, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to be able to go for yet another special 2 here, and everything is going great. So yeah, this is pretty fun. I should be charging heavy more often to remove his armors. I don't really know what I'm doing at this point. Then I get hit, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that's annoying. But I do land a heavy there, and then he gets another armor. But he's also just dead, so it doesn't really matter. There goes the Ultron, and now we're going to go fight Abyss Iron Man Infinity War. So this is a pretty cool one. I haven't really done the Abyss in a while, but the node on this guy is when he has that armor up buff, he's going to gain these tech charges. And once those reach 10, he's going to power steal us. However, if he doesn't have that armor buff, then it doesn't matter because he can't actually power steal and gain any more charges. So the fact that Phoenix can just remove it with a heavy attack is pretty great. And the fact that Phoenix is also designed to be very good for long fights is also pretty great. As you're going to see, she's going to wipe the floor with this Iron Man. Another thing is, if I was awakened, I'd be able to reduce the ability accuracy of his auto block. I'm not currently. I might give a Cosmic Gem to my Phoenix soon to fix that, but I'll have to see if I actually decide to. And we are parrying his specials quite nicely, which is giving us more Phoenix Force charges, which is always great, because then we're doing more instant incinerates per aura cycle, and everything goes swimmingly. So at this point, again, I'm just setting up my 9 aura, which is going perfectly so far, and then I'm going to charge a heavy. We are running the Kushala synergy here, which is just giving us a little bit extra incinerate damage. Absolutely not necessary, but I decided to run it just because I could. And then I'm going to parry his specials, special 1 there, special 2 here, And what do you think's going to happen next? Another special 2. So there we go. We have 17 Phoenix Force charges at the start of that because we saved a bunch before we actually went for the special 2 because of parrying his mediums and such. And now we're almost already at 30, and we're still on the 7th aura. So we are doing a crap ton of incinerate damage as long as we are next to him. And yeah, I just medium heavy, try to keep his armors at bay, do more damage. And yeah, he's just gonna start melting. We're almost at the 15% phase, which is when I do need to be careful while hitting him, because yes, he can still auto block me, but if he stuns, then he can't, and if I remove enough armors, then he can't. But he's also just gonna die in the middle of that, so it doesn't really matter. So anyway, that went absolutely perfectly. Iron Man down in 2 minutes and 6 seconds, and we're gonna go to the Epic of Pain now to fight this Nebula here on the, I think this is the path without death by debuffs. Oh no, it is death by debuffs. Okay, so I don't think Phoenix had access to the one without death by debuffs, actually. I think you had to be science or tech to do that. So unfortunately, we are going to only see damage because of how the node works, but also I'm kind of showing you this partially because of how the node works, because this one is a node where you want to be placing debuffs like crazy to be dealing your damage, and Phoenix can place debuffs like crazy, which is awesome. So another thing is, if Phoenix was awakened yet again, the auto block would be much easier to deal with, because it's a node where they're just going to do it, and then every buff you have reduces the chance by 15%, I believe. And then of course, if Phoenix starts ramping up her Furies from her Sig ability, that chance becomes even lower, so you'd only need like one special one to shut off the auto block entirely on this node, but it's no big deal. Kind of the goal for this one is just to set up my aura to where I'm spamming Incinerates like crazy, and then while I'm next to her, I'm just going to be placing the Death by Debuff trigger because of the instant Incinerate, and that's going to be doing all of my damage for me. It's going to be one of the faster Death by Debuffs fights I've been able to do, just because, again, we're spamming the debuffs like crazy. Go for a 9 aura rotation, which is just so we have extended lifetime on the aura and less so for the extra damage, because again, we're only doing damage from the node, but if we can increase the rate at which our Incinerates are being placed by getting as many aura as possible, then we're just going to kill her very fast. As you can see, we're just doing 2% every second that we're relatively close to her, and she is absolutely getting destroyed. So anyway, I think I'm just going to slow combo and eventually just go for a heavy, or we can just kill her this way, I guess, just with her being right next to me, and then, yeah, medium kills her. And then we move on to, what is the next fight? Okay, it's going to be this dust in the Wheel of Fate quest. And I'm actually going to die in this fight, because I didn't really know exactly what was happening when it first happened. So basically what happens here is whenever I charge a heavy with my Phoenix stun, I'm going to be nullifying a buff off of me. I didn't realize this until like much later in the fight, which is funny because the same exact node was on the last fight I took, but the last fight I took was also after this one. So anyway, long story short, I'm going to die here because I didn't understand what was happening, and then once I revive, you're going to see that it goes very, very well, and Phoenix is a very good option for this fight. So there I nullify my Special Echo, which is exactly what I don't want to do, and as you can see, it's just going very badly, and I don't realize that yet. Whenever I trigger a heavy to place the stun, it's always going to go for one of my duration buffs first for some reason, like buffs with duration, so it's not going to go for the Fury first. Don't exactly know how that's coded, but again, like I just don't have Special Echo and I don't understand why. And then once I revive, you're going to see me do it properly. But first we get to try to figure out what's happening, and I'm actually just going to speed it up from here so we can go ahead and move to where I revive. Anyway, at 4 times speed, you can see me getting wrecked, and then I start getting an aura going, which, that'll happen once I actually figure out what the hell I'm doing. It just took me a little bit too long to actually figure that out. And then I go red, and then it's all it's all not going very well. I got an immortality from the special 3, that's cool, but it's not going to last me very long when I eat an unblockable special 2. But here we revive, and then it's actually going to go very smoothly from this point. So basically what I need to do is only charge heavy once I'm only charging heavy to ramp the incinerates, actually, because I will need 10 incinerates to start doing like max furies on the special 1. And then like once I get that, and I ate a special 2, that's fine though. And then once I just get all this stuff set up, then we're just gonna be fine. But it just took me a little while to actually do that. So we're going for the short fight rotation. And then what's gonna be pretty funny actually is I'm going to intentionally remove one of my special echo, which is going to allow me to do the power gain again, but it's not gonna be the crazy power gain. Once I remember to actually do that, I'm going to do it like right here. I have like 3 special echo, or I should do it soon. I think I'm going to wait for the aura to actually expire, and then we're going to go for a 3 special echo, or 2 special echo, I'm sorry, special 1, which is going to give us 250% power gains, which is going to let us do that. And then what do I need to do from here? I need to nullify one of my special echoes once I actually do it. It took me a while to figure out how to do this. So I need to charge a heavy. I don't know if I'm going to do that, because if I was doing this again, like actually knowing what the hell I'm doing, I'd probably make it look a lot better, but unfortunately I just didn't really get it very well when doing this, because it was the first Wheel of Fate run for me with this team, so I didn't actually get to redo anything and make anything look better, but that's fine. So anyway, we got our 9 aura going, which is perfect. That's exactly what we're supposed to have. And then she's still going to have the unblockable thing, but that's okay, because we can eat some special 2s as long as we don't die, right? Anyway, the options were pretty limited for this boss with these select tags, and Phoenix is just really one of the best options for it, even though I might not be making it look like that, because I kind of stuck and I didn't know what I was doing for half of the fight, but that's okay. So go for light intercept there. She doesn't play for it, but I do get the parry, and then I go for a medium intercept. She drops a special 1. She's not in the aura, but now she is, and she's just dead now. So yeah, that fight went pretty well once I figured it out. And then last but not least, we're gonna go fight Necropolis Odin. I do think Phoenix is pretty good for many necro fights. This is just the close one, so I'm doing it first just to show an example of how she would do for long fights. And I've talked over this fight in other videos before, so I'm not going to talk over it very long. Basically, you just kind of spam the 9 aura rotation once you get the ramp going, and then you're just going to have really consistent damage for the entire fight. So for this one, you just have to manage and vary controls pretty well, and then, you know, I'll actually be able to do damage once Odin lets you do that, because you need to get him to 6 buffs. So you need to get him to drop a special 1 with his 2 Odin Force and stuff, and then you can. Don't eat the special 1 like I did, but still, you get the point. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking pretty soon, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. I hope you're able to learn a lot about Phoenix from it. She's a very, very fun champ, and I hope that part of this video was able to prove that. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.